what I want to show. Okay, we're here. We got the chat popped out. Everything looks like it's going and it's recording. Let's try this again. Okay. We're going to find us some big trades today. Look at these futures, y'all. Holy moly. Holy moly. Futures doing great. All right. Got to have the hat on square. We are definitely wearing the beach hat. We got company in town. We're doing the beach stuff. Charts are ready. We have the 50K account on tap today. Let's see what we can do. We're going to make some money. We're going to blow it. Hadn't had a good Monday and Tuesday doing the live streams. Watched any of the other videos that we did on TikTok, you know that we made our month, 25,000 or so bucks. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just listening. It's me by myself. If you got this far in the video, you're the only person. But you got to make videos if you want to be a content creator. And if you do what I tell you in the notes, copy my transcript, ask your favorite AI, your large language model, LLM, right? Ask it, please pull out anything pertinent to trading, anything pertinent to setups for day trading, and then hone in on that timestamp, okay? Be smart. For those of you who know what I just said, you're the ones who probably could be successful trading. Those of you who don't know what I just said, you're never going to make a dime trading. So it's not for everybody, okay? And digging ditches is not for everybody. You got to be a ditch digger to make money digging ditches, okay? Don't discount that it takes a skill set to do everything in life. It's simple as that. If you want to be address optional, you may be a envelope stuffer. You may fail as an envelope stuffer. Everybody has to have their niche, okay? If you want to get something out of this live recording, I'm recording myself trading live so you can get something out of it. Copy the transcript. If there's no transcript button in the YouTube description down below when you hit the more button, if there's not one down there because I didn't turn on closed caption, don't bitch about it. Figure out how to use my voice in another program to turn it into words, to put it into your AI, to then say, AI, market is ripping. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Put it into AI and just ask AI, what did Jim talk about today that would help me learn how to trade? And let AI make you a manual. And then go to everyone who's trading live, not people's videos. They suck balls. People who trade live, you see them trading. Why did Jim lose today on this trade when he was coaching me? Oh, the setup was good, entry was wrong, whatever. Why did Jim make money? What does other people say? If you develop your own consensus from a bunch of people trading live, like I have, then you will have a body of work and produce your own little training manual that you will follow, and then you'll learn how to trade. And this will affect your life in so much ways. We overbought a little bit here. 64 on your RSI. I'm gonna watch. Let's just wait here a second, boys. There's nothing to do, ladies and gentlemen. When I say boys, I mean all of you. I don't care about your genitalia. It's just a code word. Don't get butthurt. Okay. Don't be butthurt. When I say boys, I do mean my lady friends too that might be watching this later. At the time of this recording, it is completely live with nobody watching. So I'm doing this literally anticipating someone will see it in the future. And it won't be pertinent to anything in the markets of that day. But these setups, so what you see me do today and how I call these setups out, I hope will help somebody in the future. And for me personally, it's just to generate content. All right. Let's see what we got there. All right, so let's get our counter going here. 502 people want me to watch the YouTube videos. This is crazy. Let's go ahead and get our book maps up. Everybody knows, shout out to Live Alex TWB. This is who we use. We're only going to trade the NQ. There's no really reason for that. I just do it. But I also, you could trade the ES, that's fine. Some people prefer that. A lot of people only do ES because it's less volatile, moves less. Stops could be a little further apart. For me, I don't like being in trades that long. I'd rather blow the whole prop account. I want to know if I'm wrong, and I want to know if I'm wrong fast. I don't want to sit here wringing my hands. You know, if I make a move and that move is wrong, I'd rather blow the whole account and buy another account. What, it's just $100. Who cares? You know what I mean? I'm in it to like get some momentum, get a buffer, and then start playing my cards tight. But in the beginning, it's like poker players. I'm trying to get my chip stack up as fast as I can, as high as I can, and then I play tight. And so you don't have to do that. I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm not an advisor. I'm not giving financial advice. What I am doing is showing you in real time how I do it, okay? I got Trade Evade up, but I'm not going to trade on their charts because I got the accounts loaded over here. You see at the bottom right there? I think you can see it. Well, it's just off the screen, isn't it? All right, I'm going to break that out so you can see it. And now you should be able to see it, right? What the heck? Oh. All right, there it is at the bottom. See that right there? Can you see it? What is going on? I want to show. There it is right there. I'm trading a Trade of 8. I should have just done that. $50,000. There's a trade event. My account number, I probably shouldn't have showed that. But anyway, that's all we're trading today. If you don't believe me, I don't care. Don't say nothing in the comments that you don't want to back up. You come and meet me at a bar at Santa Rosa Beach if you want to have a discussion about it. If you're so inclined and you're an actual troll that'll stand behind their words. Trading just prop firm money. It costs $100. No big deal. Okay, we're ripping here, folks. High of all-time highs on tap today. Nothing we can trade right now. You know, everybody who wanted to trade this is already in this trade. So the momentum's coming from here. So let's see what Matt may be doing. I don't know if he took anything off the open. He did. He's up. Let's go ahead and jump over to Swartz. We call these our human indicators. This is, let's see what Pat's doing this morning. Let's also see what Mike is doing this morning. Mike's added the camera this week. I love it. We definitely are chasing that all-time high. These are my human indicators. These are my faves. Pat's a great trader, but I like him more. He's 70% entertainment, 30% trading for me. Mike is the opposite. 30% entertainment, 70% trader. And Matt is 50-50. And then, of course, this is our trusty Bookmaps without having to do all the setup on your own. There's a lot of people that broadcast this in real time. You see 936. It's real time. And watch other videos. You know how I use it. We'll talk about it. I'm not in a talking mood today about it. I'm a little bit hungover. Friends in town, family actually in town. So we're doing whole week of beach. So I'm having to reserve my voice for shouting, singing, karaoke, and stuff like that down at the beach. I'm just kidding. I'm not hungover, nor is that going to be an issue, but I'm not very talkative this morning. Let me go ahead and pause these guys' voices anyway. Yeah. Talking with Pat on Twitter there. Him and Lando having a good time fishing in Hawaii. All right, so let's see here what we got. Nothing to do right now. So I'm going to look for like an opening range breakout. But because we're ripping at the start, and I was late getting in here this morning, so I wish I would have taken this opening range break. Let me just go ahead and describe a setup here. This would be a good place to put a timestamp, Grok, of the lesson, and let me break this out. So if you are so inclined, folks, to have your AI listen to what I'm saying, this would have been a great range, flat top, flat bottom style range breakout. Okay, so if you'd have just put like a marker here, happens to coincide directly with that linear regression line, marker there, and a marker about right there. Okay, you see those two lines, and now you could have put your sales on there. Let's say you buy 5 contracts here, or you sell 5 contracts there. Okay, with a very tight stop in case it wicks you, so like $500, and you have that automatically set up in your order block over here. Whatever trading platform you use your favorite AI and let it teach you how to put in one button. Let's see what we got here. We might have something developing. I don't see it. Nothing we want to take. It's still all buys. Okay, volume. You know, we're above 2 million. Above 3 million is interesting. Above 5 million is real interesting. So let's just wait. We're right there at it, but I'm not hearing anything. So we're going to wait till we hear the audibles from Alex, and then we'll do a volume check, and then we'll do a chart check. Okay. I'm going to turn off the Trader Vic, guys. This is where the account is. Can you see that? You can't see that. What's wrong with this thing? I don't know what happened. I think I was gaming last night. There it is. You see it? starting with 50 grand, take profit trader. Okay. That's what we're trading today. We'll see where it ends up later. I'm gonna close that. No reason to populate two charts. All right, let's see. Do we have a pullback yet? I'm gonna wait for a pullback. I think I'm looking for longs today. But right now we're just ripping. You see that? We're just ripping on the DOM. Hate that trading view populates this. As soon as you go and hit the order block, it populates that. I hate that. I know that there's probably a setting somewhere, but I'm not gonna mess around with it right now. But you see the two red lines I put there? You could put your orders around that and just had it automatically execute. Today, your long would have executed. You still would be ripping. It's just an easy trade. That's easy money. You could be sitting in the RV in Sedona, like I used to do. Spent 4 months out there, and that's the kind of moves I would do, because then I would spend the rest of the day hiking, right, or boating at the little water they had there. Mostly we did hiking and morning hikes, awesome, and or anywhere else, up in Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, kayaking. But in the mornings, I would do opening range break trades so I could just get in and out in the first 30 minutes. And then that's how I actually learned that, by the time you get to 10:30 Central Time, 10, which is 11:30 East Coast time. Now we get, see, we can't get a pullback here. I'm looking for a pullback. Here's the most important thing about trading. And you might run across videos. You're definitely going to run across a bunch of videos that show you just the nuts and bolts of setups. What they don't tell you is sitting here for hours and hours and hours and hours for 1 3-minute play to establish itself. And then it doesn't work and you lose $500, right? And then you can't go on tilt. See what I mean? That was a slight pullback followed by a rip. So there's nothing we can do. We got to let this thing get 15 minutes in, because we just on a rocket ship. Let's get back to that setup that we talked about, though. So you put that opening range break in, and it would have broke that opening range, and you would be in a killer setup right now. Let's see if it had been invalidated anytime. Invalidations means a candle that has a lower low. And so you would keep moving your trailing stop up manually. I do it visually, as you'll know if you watched any of my previous videos or anything on TikTok. You would manually move your stops up, meaning in your brain. And I usually keep mine 2 candles back once I get well into the money. I'm not that greedy, but maybe this one is putting in a red candle here, but it's still, the low is not invalidating the previous low. And that low did, though. That low maybe did. But if you had momentum and you look over at your ASHI, you put your ASHIs on 1 minute, it's just so parabolic that there's nothing for you to do right now. I will still be moving it up, because this also could be kaboom the other way. There's a reason for this. And I don't look at news. You don't necessarily have to look at news. If you're trading prop firms, you need to know about the news so you don't violate any restrictions. But there's nothing today, right? Wholesale inventory is coming up in a little bit. No impacts, nothing. Gasoline stock is a 2-bar impact. That's later today. That's at 9:30. So really nothing that I think will affect the futures. We're trading futures here. We're on the NASDAQ. Just ripping, going all-time highs. See what the guys are doing. The guys are in trades. Matt is in trades. I'm not sure what Matt's doing. Pat's doing. Mike is just watching, it looks like. Pumping the Tradefies. That's fine. I'm going to be doing that too, but I'm waiting until I know exactly who is going to be best. I will not be promoting any of these eval accounts and all that stuff. If you're going to trade, you either trade paper while you're learning, meaning paper, fake, phony money, so you can learn the video game. It's just like playing a video game. When you sit down and play a video game, you're playing a video game with phony money. You might as well have a Robinhood account or Fidelity account or Schwab account with your retirement money and sell options against your savings and things like that, which I'll start making videos about all that stuff too if you've got retirement money, and show you how to make massive returns on your retirement money. It's pretty easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. I'm not a financial advisor. You could lose all your money, obviously, and you have to do it on your own. But there's 1,000 videos out there on selling covered calls against held positions and why people don't do a little bit of studying. People know how to cook hot dogs on their grill more sophisticated ways than they know how to protect their retirement savings. It's bewildering to me. People don't spend a couple hours a week or a month even on their retirement savings. So we're going to go through a lot of that as well on this channel as we get going, because the idea of this channel is to make money from a lot of different sources, so you don't have to sit in a cubicle 9 to 5 every day working for the man who's out on his sailboat. You could be out on a smaller sailboat. You could be out on a jet ski. You can be out on a jet ski for a few hours a day and not have to be in a cubicle. But you do have to spend a few hours a day doing something. And if you want to be in the financial markets or bookkeeping or cleaning gutters, you know what I mean? Doing handyman work, taking out the trash for the elderly, cleaning poop in people's backyards. There's a lot of things you could do and not have to sit around. That's what this channel is going to be all about. That's what this channel is going to be all about. These are my 3 go-tos. There are some more that I like, but the Rocket Scooter platform, I subscribe. I have the platform. I use it for the indicators. The DD right now is 81. Was at 94 yesterday. Still way above 5, so we're good. Resilience is awesome today. Resilience at 47 on the S&P, 56 on the NASDAQ. So just huge, strong market today. And I just don't have an entry yet, you guys. We're just now going to get to that 15-minute candle, it looks like. And we're having a 15-minute candle breakout, but it's right now we'd be doing what's called FOMO, F-O-M-O. So this is a good timestamp to talk about FOMO. And I'll finish talking about the range breakout in a minute, which I already missed the setup today. So it's okay. If you miss it, you miss it. The market looks like it just wants to go for all-time highs. So we got to wait for a pullback here to have an entry. There's nothing we can do. And this is a great lesson, everybody. This is a great lesson. The powers that be wanting to run the all-time high. There's your all-time high right there. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Let's mark out the all-time high. It's right there. There's your all-time high. And let's go ahead and put some text in there. All-time high, ATH. Fun to type it, man. It feels making the fingers feel good typing all-time high right there. So all-time high. And look at that over there. Tesla down to 297. So glad I sold those options. Thank you, Elon Musk, for nothing. Really? The American Party? Dude. What makes he thinks he's better than Ross Perot? I don't know. But he sure did screw the pooch with a lot of people that had invested in him and bought the what we thought was the news dip. We thought the fight between him and Trump would separate them two, and that was a PR play from the big PR firms. And it was, you know, those of us who know who they spend money with know that a bunch of money was spent with PR firms to create that whole debacle, which wasn't a debacle. It was a PR stunt to make a separation for him to gain some favor with some lefties, you know, to protect his robot stock and things like that. And that worked fine. And it was playing fine. The stock dropped to $293. Boom, right back to 315. We all bought on that dip. Most of us bought when it crossed back over 300 in our retirements, and then loaded up on options, everything you could do. And then he screwed the pooch. And so we all took a bloodbath. We took some profits, but most of us lost. I lost for sure. I lost 15%. Because he wants to start a political party. So he basically abandoned the entire, you know, I'm going to say this is insider trading, but, you know, as you get more astute in business, and especially if you know people that know people that know people, and that's how the world works, right? If you know PR firms are doing business with people, and hey, my buddy at the PR firm is doing business with someone, and they're going to be orchestrating this, then you can take an inference of what that means, and then you see it unfold. Well, there was nobody working with anybody. This is obviously, to me, I'm not going to be slanderous, but has to. I'm just thinking it's Jack Daniels or worse in play here at midnight. He puts a poll out on X asking the world. It's not even Americans, you know, it's bots and Russians and people all from everywhere can answer it, and uses that poll to announce he's starting a political party and tanks his stock that actual people have invested into. Yeah, won't be doing that anymore. I think the guy's lost his goad. He needs to probably step down. Most people are asking that he steps down. He does need to step down. He needs to remain a visionary idea man. He needs not be at the helm anymore. That's my idea. That's my take. I'm sticking to it. That's the Elon Musk rant of the day right there, chat. Pull that out and put it in your pipe and smoke it. Not at the all-time high yet. Volume is decayed. Bulls and bears going at it around 3-4 million. Not as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday we struggled around 1 million shares for a long time. So at least we're getting some price action this morning. All-time high right there. You watch it with me. Maybe the show is just going to be about taking out the all-time high and then having a pullback and then seeing where we settle. I'm not inclined to take anything. I don't want to have a 3 days in a row on these prop account of losses. Can't deny the trend line that was there. Back to that range breakout play. You put your order here and here. Today, it would have triggered to the upside. It would have not been invalidated. So you go back to a 1 minute chart. Basically, right in here, you might have triggered a sell and take profit. But if you would have observed your moving averages, you never have invalidated your 10-period moving average. So that also could be like, consider that an ATR. You could even put ATR on there. You could put your ATR on there like that. If you look at that ATR, I'll let you read it. ATR, trailing stop loss. It's a free indicator. Gives you a place to put your stop losses. Now, it's way away from where I would be. I like that. I'm gonna take that off. That I wouldn't use that. It's too far away. But if your lot sizes were smaller, like you was using micros, you could use that. But I don't like that. I don't like that. That's too far away. I do like the 10. You could let the 10-period moving average be your stop loss. Never, not even a wick invalidated that. You only had a couple, well, you have several invalidations of the 5, but the 10-period moving average is always a great stop loss because that will keep you from getting wicked, meaning the market makers has a big sell one time, but the trend continues, but you still want to lock in your gains. So the 10 works out pretty good that way. All right, so let's see here. We're going to take some of these off. We don't need that one anymore. That was a demonstration. That was a demonstration. All right, so down here, we're way overbought, 87. I hadn't seen this high in a long time, so we've got to have a pullback at some point. I'll probably take a little short. I'm going to tee up for 5 contracts. Let's take a run at it, but we're going to need some pretty heavy selling. Right now, this is your tug of war. Just don't overthink these things. You got 2 guys right here with decks of cards, okay? He's got a deck of cards. He's got a deck of cards, right? And no, they didn't split the deck of cards. They both have a full deck of cards, 52 cards each, right? At the same time, and that's in one hand. At the same time, they got a rope in the other hand, and they're pulling each other, right? So just think about that. So that's volume, right? And the cards are orders. And somebody's standing beside them and taking one card off the deck and putting it down, playing war. And the higher card wins, right? And so the whole line moves that way. But then also volume, how much the rope is being pulled is weighing on it at the same time. That's all that is. Think of playing war with cards while you're also playing tug of war with a rope. That's it. And right now, the green is winning. The guy standing in the green side is winning, which means we're advancing. We're advancing. A lot of sales there. 23,100. Look at that. Big. Look at these numbers over here. So going to have a pullback here in a second. Let's watch for it. So I'm thinking a break between this range right here. I'm going to go ahead and put an order in. We're going to sell. We break this range right here. We're going to sell 5 contracts. And we're going to be on the button over here on the right. to flatten that as soon as possible. And that we're either going to go underwater, right? See, they couldn't break out. So we're either going to go underwater. They couldn't break out. The breakout is all-time highs. That's a massive number. And there's clear air up here. So you have no technicals. There's nothing for us. That's just free willy. You just could jump out of that water. And do you come back down, or does an airplane pick you up, Willie, and take you to the moon? Who knows, right? Generally speaking, you pull a cork underwater and you let it go, it will breach the surface of the water, but it does come back down. When it comes back down, how far does it go back in the water before it floats? And that's this play. I'm going to bet that it will go down some, and I'm going to get out of the way quick with a little profit from the market, as will a lot of people. And that's why there'll be a lot of people selling there, and I'm getting on their ducktails, on their coattails. I'm just going to get on their coattails as a little scalper. That's all I do. I scalp. Hopefully that the computers are on the other end. I got mine in there pretty far away. And so I don't want it just to trigger on a wick. You know, there's a lot of people doing this same play. We got a range here and we could break out. I probably should have a buy order on the top of this at the same time. Because this could be, we're consolidating here on a 1 minute. You know, what do we got? 8 1-minute candles consolidating here. No breakout to the high side. And so this could just as easily be a break to the high. Let's just do it for shits and giggles, right? Let me just go ahead and do that buy order. And we're going to put it at the all-time high breakout, which is about right there. There you go. No matter what happens, we're going to buy. I'm not taking this off. So if you want to timestamp this, Grok, because this is going to be something notable. We're putting in a buy order to break out of this flat top, flat bottom. This is a flat top, flat bottom, same as I demonstrated for the open. We're just doing it over here the first time it's presented itself. This is the first time we haven't had a pullback. We've had a consolidation, right? Capitulation, consolidation. You look up the terms. We're going sideways. So it's either going to break down or it's going to go up or it stays sideways. If it stays sideways, there's no trade. So we're just sitting here anyway. Might as well have some orders so we capture some kind of action. And that's it. You could do these plays all day long. What's the fear? The fear is one little tail activates your order and it goes right back the other way in the range. You lose $500, right? And that is a fear. And that's why most of the time I manually trade, and I only trade those exact setup when I got massive volume one way or the other. And I'm ready to do that. I'm doing this for demonstration for chat and for this video. But normally I'm saying, okay, it's going to be a flat top breakout or a flat top breakdown. I'm ready. I'm on the button, sell or buy, sell or buy, sell or buy, which way you want to go. I'll let volume tell me which way it's going to go. That way, a little bit of volume, that's one little spike of a tail, doesn't trigger my order. And that's my fear. And that happens a lot. And that crushes your probability, okay? Your success probability, crushes it. And so if I was going to do this, and you know, if I was actually coaching someone to do this, we would go a lot less. Like we would do 2 micros, not even 1 mini. We would do 2 micros. You know, it's just so we only got $50, you know, or something at risk. But we're making videos and we're trying to establish setups and just get people in general used to like the lingo and things like that, and just talking the talk, so to speak. The VIX is down to 16. Wow, this is a great trading market. I can't wait to get onto my Fidelity and Robinhood stuff today and get some trades made. I might take some profit actually. I might take some profit over there on my holdings. Apple just not holding up good today. Apple, Tesla, under 300. Got to 303 yesterday, 316. It recovered after the Trump spat and then tanked on that American politics. All right, we might get triggered here. It's coming with some volume, not much though. We're going to get this. This is not going to be pretty. You watch. We're going to be shorting in an uptrend. So I'm just telling you right now, this is not what we should be doing. We're going to be shorting in an uptrend. In fact, I'm taking it off. I'm going to take it off. I'm taking both of these off. I might be proven to be wrong, but it just seems like there's no momentum, which means it might just drift down in like just a regular old uptrend pullback. It just feels like they want to take out the all-time high, which they almost did. It almost took out the all-time high. Not quite. So it seems like this is like, it just can't keep going up. You got to have, at some point, people are going to take profits. Shorts are going to have to stop losses hit. There's all kinds of things that has to happen. And you just can't keep going straight up. You run out of liquidity. And so you have to go sideways. And like, we might have just right then had the short trigger and look, the volume went away. And the volume's right back to the sales side. So even though this is just a prop account, you got to still try to trade it like it's real money. Got to trade it like it's real money, chat. Hey, Kiki. Yeah, he came in here and went to sleep. Cronus, the schnauzer, came in here and went to sleep, y'all. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have woke him up just for eye drops. You see what I'm talking about right there? We should have left that long in there. They want to take out the high, all-time highs, and there it is. All-time high has been taken out, chat. All-time high right there. We got it marked. We marked it. We called it. It's been done. Let's timestamp that, Grok. All-time high right there, taken out. 23,100 in the books. Wish I'd have left that order in. Chickened out. Let's see if it's just going to be a spike, though. Does it have any momentum? Was I right taking that order off the books? Was it? Is it going to be a flat top breakout? Usually they work, but boy, they only work if you know you got liquidity and stuff above it. When you have, let me show you what I mean. Let's go to the daily charts. You're looking at the daily charts, we got nothing. This is the all-time high. So if you was in this range, like let's say you was in this range, we'd have these peaks to shoot for as pivot points, where there's other liquidity sitting there, and you don't now, and so it's just brand new. Best not to do anything. If you show up in the markets and you got to make money that day, that's when it's going to be a problem for you. That's when it's going to be a problem for you. You have to trade the markets for what you see. And that's the only way to do it. It's best not to trade anything at all, just like we're doing today. Can we have the door closed, please? I keep saying it. She keeps leaving the door open, you guys. Sorry about that. So haven't taken a trade yet today. There's really nothing to trade. Switch back to a 1 minute chart. Do a 1 and a 5. Look at that 5 minute chart with the Ashi candles over there. Ashi. How you got to say it, I guess. He's Japanese. That's how I would say it. Okay. Getting a little tick there. See, it was not a breakout. Sorry for the hesitation there. I wanted to scan all the charts. Took me just a second. I was trying to find some setups. Really just nothing to do right now. So that was just a take out the high. That's a news point right there. So I'm just worried about taking a short here. I don't see anything that's giving me any indication that I could even be in a short for any period of time. Now that was a somewhat of an impulse candle, but look, it's under 5 million on volume. It's just trickling down, and we're at the highs. You just don't know. I just don't trust it that it's going to be give me any time frame. I could have been in there, but the timing had to be so right. I'm really interested below here and to take back that candle right there out. But see what I'm saying? Look, it already has stopped. So I just, this is the kind of stuff that's hard to coach, y'all. And after the last 2 days where my instincts were mistimed, I was off by a candle. Last 2 days I've been off by a candle. So the last couple of days, when you see people trading these prop accounts, like you've been watching me, I'm only going to trade prop accounts live because it's hard to talk through this and try to train on setups. Oops, excuse me. Try to train on setups while I'm also, there's your opening range. I didn't have that turned on because I knew we rocketed right past it. And so, and its indicators was, look, buy at the open, and it was right. You could have bought at the open on the modified Lux Algo. That's a free indicator that is one of the best ones I've ever found after back testing it. I have it slightly modified. You don't have to modify it at all, but you could. If you come in here, you can slightly modify some things. See there, it turned right back around. So now it looks like we're going to chop right in the middle of the channel. I'm going to cut that back off because we don't need it today. But it did give you a buy signal. I mean, it certainly gave you a buy signal at the open. So that was a flat top breakout, which I already showed you, and you could have bought at the open. You could still be in that trade. You could basically still be in that trade. Most people would have taken profits somewhere around in here because it's a heck of a run. You make a month of income, depending on what your lot side was in here. Certainly would have scaled back somewhere in here, or more seasoned guys would have added on that impulse candle, knowing they were going for the high of the day. You don't get to near the all-time highs without it taking out the all-time highs. That's just basically a given. You don't get this close without it taking it out, unless all news channels come out that we've been bombed in New York City with a nuclear weapon or something. That would be what it has to be for it not to happen, and it have to come out this time like 15 minutes before it's going to breach the all-time high. You'd have to have news like that for it not to do that. So this was a no-brainer of a trade. It's just I didn't get into it early enough. I got here late. I was looking at that Apex stuff, and people was asking about trading 10 accounts, and I talked myself out of that right at the open. And so we did not do that, and not going to do that. I'll find another one though. Oh, to answer that question. And those people don't even watch this. They're not going to watch this. They're going to watch it after to see how it went and share the video. But I will put in 10 accounts. I got to find out which proper firm allows you to do that. I'll buy 10 accounts from one of them, and we'll trade 10 accounts. No different to me. I'm just trading the charts. I think that's the most you can go and Tradeovate. And then you have to do like Ninja Trader and Copy Trade. You can do up to 20. And I'll do that too. I don't care. I'll trade $100,000 personal account. It's $5,000 swing on is my daily loss limits on my personal account. And I try to catch these runs right here. But I give myself plenty of room. That way I got enough, I could take stabs at it. Like yesterday, I wouldn't have lost any money if I was using my own money because I had enough room to take 3-4 stabs, and the fourth stab worked great. So like if you went back and looked at yesterday, price action, right here, look at that right there. Chopped around in the morning, not wanting really get much out of the opening range. But this run right here was a great run right there. Great run. Never invalidated 21 period moving average. Great run. The rest was just chop and garbage. All right. we're sitting here doing nothing. This is the boring part of trading. If this is the most difficult part to trading for me, two things today that you learned that we all will learn and take away is that if you missed it, there are times when you miss it and you jump on the train late and it doesn't rip your arm off because you grabbed a hold of it and it's going too fast. Think about it in those visuals. You got a moving train, you're a hobo, got your bag, your fishing pole with your bag of clothes hanging on it, and you're going to try to jump on that train with this arm. If it's going slow enough, you can get on it and you could ride that train, right? But you might be getting on that train and it's coming to a stop and you didn't know that, right? And then you have to pay commissions and all to get on that train. And then, or it can be going so fast and you misjudge it that it just rips your arm off and you're sitting there armless. Either way is not good. It means you lose money. So that's what FOMO means, fear of missing out. Now, I have jumped on that train a lot of times when it has massive volume, like you're like, oh my goodness, it's 12 million sales to 4 million advancers. I'm shorting it. It's so much that then you can wait for those to start neutralizing and jump off. That's different. But that's not, that's fighter pilot level trading. You don't need to be thinking about doing until you're really, really experienced. Right now we're in this range. And so I'm looking for a flat top. I'm looking for a range breakout or breakdown. And I still think that this candle right here needs to have something happen to it. From about right here to here. I don't subscribe to the ICT stuff. If you look at it, it's just, it doesn't do any better probability wise than just old school candlestick reading. I can just be trading just ASHI and a VWAP. All this over here is a histogram for volume, a VWAP, and ASHI. And the VWAP and ASHI and the histograms are a lot of similarities. You can look all this stuff up. You see what's on the chart. You look it up yourself. So it's hiking ASHI candles, the VWAP, right? Value weighted price. I'll highlight right there. Volume weighted average price. Okay. There's your Saratoga histogram. Look that up. I'm using D7R. And then there's your candles. VWAP, and there's your candles. Heike Ashen right there. You can just trade with that chart alone, okay? But not if you want to micro scalp. I like micro scalping because when I'm using my own money, like in the afternoon session, when I do power hour, I trade one chart. I trade this chart right here, and I trade it on a 45-second chart like this. And I trade it on with speed buttons. And so I can't stream. Everybody's like, why don't you stream that if you make all the money? Well, listen, I don't have to. One is I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't have any debt. I got a paid off house at the beach. Okay. I travel all around the world vacationing. I'm doing this literally to help other people learn how to do something and get out of the 9-to-5 jobs. I'm not selling anything on the channel. I'm doing this for fun. I might as well be streaming anyway if I'm be doing this anyway, right? And I trade in the mornings anyway, and I hadn't been doing these prop accounts, so I might as well do them anyway. But the power hour, I have to have, my executions have to be lightning fast, and I can't do that in stream. I do have good internet, but I only have 50 megs up, and my latency is kind of wonky, and so to do it with my buttons in and out 100 grand have to be done with no latency, like as minimum latency as possible. What you working on over there, Kiki?
I need to make some collection calls.
I've got to get the bank account set up because we're not going to be able to pay any vendors until we do, and they have started. The way that's going to work is they're going to pay her and she's going to pay Acme, and then Acme is going to pay the vendors. Because they have to have proof where the money went to. And so if vendor A gives Acme a proposal for 3,000, right? Then we have to show 3,000 goes to Samantha, 3,000 goes to Acme. What Acme pays is what Acme pays. That's their business. But Sam has to justify where the money went. And so the bank accounts need to be done last week because he's already got money leaving. AKA set up 2 bank accounts. it's mission critical right now.
I need to make one phone call that I promised to make yesterday, and then I'll do that.
All right. Okay, let's see here. No trades yet. Recap on the session. It was already ripping pre-market. Late to start trading today, so was not able to put anything on. Don't want to FOMO, fear of missing out. Always statistically makes you lose money. Today you probably would have made money unless you got in around in here. You would have got wicked out on that candle. If you was trading a 45 second, you're trading a 1 minute, it wouldn't have been that bad because this candle here was so parabolic. But in that candle right there, you look at the points on it, 976 to 03. So big numbers, right? 04, let's see, yeah, 04, 79. So 20, 23, 24, 25 points. So that's a big number. You do the math, 25 points times 4 ticks times $20 per contract. That'll whip you out. Look at it on a 30-second chart. Look at that. That happened in a 30-second candle too. Might have been okay. This candle right here, if you was doing it like I do the afternoon session, that right there would have stopped you for sure because it invalidated 2 previous candles. So micro scalping, that would have been your stop loss right there. You'd have been out right in there, but that's still been a nice run. Break of this candle, entry point around 980. Reach of that candle right there, 997. So still nice 17-point run right there. 17-point run on 10 contracts. So 10 times 4, right? 40 points times 20 times 10 contracts. Very nice. That makes a lot of people making a month of salary right there. We took off the open, Kiki, and now it's just nothing. All right, so not much to do there. Everything just dead. There's nothing going on right now. 9:17 Central, so 10:17 New York time. Bouncing around all-time highs here. 23,100 level. 23,102.25. Top of that range. Can move that all-time high up now. So we definitely right there. We can get it even closer. Move it in and get it like actually spot on to the print. That's about as close as we can get it right there, chat. 23,111.75. I might be off by a quarter. That's where it is. Just chopping around now. No trade to be taken. There's no volume here. Really not much of anything. No trades taken today. Sitting on our hands. Just put a like on everybody's chats. There you go. Everybody has a like today. Sometimes I forget to do that. Yeah, same thing with Pat. Pat hasn't taken any trades. He's loaded up to do. Looks like he's got 3 accounts going. He's trading his cash accounts. He's going to do 2 contracts in his accounts, but he hasn't taken any trades. Matt hasn't added any more positions since the open. He traded pre-market to get these 5 accounts, and that's what he did. He manually enters, and that's why and I don't know why he does that. He never really explains it. He says he doesn't like using group trading. But I mean, this DOM is Tradeovate because his platform, which I do subscribe to, this is his platform. His platform, you can't trade through it. It doesn't allow you to plug in when the connections over here. You can plug in real data. I just use his and pay for him. It's the same difference. But you can't plug in your broker. And so you're really only using it to get the DD bands and the resilience and things like that, and to get this chart. And of course, if you just go watch him, you can get it from his own feed live. So you don't have to spend $160 a month. So there's that. I'm just saying. All right. I just don't trust it as a breakdown, you guys. We're still in that channel, and I just don't trust it yet. We just ain't a full breakdown. We got to take these out. We're going to take these out, get a bounce, and then take it out with force and pull back to VWAP. And I think I'd be inclined to take a short. Nothing right now. I'm just sitting on hands, being patient. Nothing wrong with being patient. Let's see what Alpine's doing over there today. Excuse me. Duplicate this right here. I'm going to go over here to, oops. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, duplicate. Where'd you put it? Okay, here we go. What's he doing? He is trading. Looks like he's trading what, 10? Looks like that's 10 accounts. Got a 1,301, 272. Made a little money, just a little small scalping trade, looks like. These guys make as much money selling this right here as they do anything. And I'm going to sell something too, I guess, eventually. But I want to sell something that makes you money. I don't think I would going to promote Apex necessarily, unless they have like a funded account, like you pay more money, but like you got all the rules and this consistency crap and everything, and you just trade. And end of the week, you say, I made $1,400. Send me my money. And they keep 10% and you get the rest, you know, and the commissions are fair and that kind of stuff. Otherwise, why do that? You know, that's Alex has this automatic jokes that spit out occasionally. It just says, I got fired from a florist. Apparently, I take too many leaves. All right, I got you. I got you, Alex. Let's break up the session a little bit. Also, we can go in and listen to Pat. I'm sure he's ranting about his lawsuit or something real quick here. Let's see here. Excuse me. All right, he's just getting some payouts. Let's mute him. Let's see what Mike is doing while we're in this lull. I like to just scan around these guys so the feed is not boring.
We'll get lucky to get on some shorts here.
That's what we're hoping for, exactly. Lucky and get some shorts. Nothing's happening.
Trying to pull back. Of course you are. Of course you are. Here's like, we got all Mike's money. I'm gonna leave. Peace. Go up the deuces and run.
Really boring today, Kiki.
Yeah.
Boring, boring, boring today. See what Alpine's doing. He's sitting on hands as well. Yeah, no sounds. This is the reason, guys, that I follow this, because I could scan and do other things. You could do paperwork, whatever, and you hear something when this starts to say something, and it says it by sound. When you start hearing it, then you need to be ready to scan your charts and see what it's talking about. Other than that, you can go and listen to what the other guys are doing and see if they're in trades and everything. Yeah, same thing. He's saying the same thing, so he's confirming you. Once you find out who it is that you like and you trust them, you follow along with them, you see their success and you confirm it because you're following along with them. And I have with these guys. And then you start going to them as human indicators. And they're like, I'm not in any trades. This market's not doing that. And you already came to that same assessment. Then you're starting to get in that happy place as a trader. It's like racing. And I equate that a lot on these recordings I do. It's a lot like racing. If everyone's going wide at an apex, there might be a reason. Concrete is coming apart. There's a puddle there. There's oil put down. There's a reason. So human indicators is a real thing for me. And I bring that in from my racing in that there is a reason you have spotters up on the grandstand that tells you what another guy's doing that might be turning a faster lap time or might be making up momentum on the outside or might be avoiding debris that's on the track. And that's what human trading indicators do. If you come up with a 3 or 4, I found that up to about 4 I can scan effectively. If you come up with 3 or 4 that you like and you trust, which is more important, and you scan them and they're saying the same things as you and you feel the same way and you concur, then you know you're getting into a happy place. And if you don't, that's okay. That's okay. You don't want to just run with the pack, but you certainly don't want to always be against the pack. You want to make sure that you understand why they are not trading, why they are trading. It's okay to have missed the trade. Then you just watch them and say, okay, I now know what I should have done. And you watch for that setup the next time. Like today, it looks like of all the people we follow, only Matt took the trade at the open. Now I showed it to you, that flat bottom, flat top, break out or break down. They took it. There it is right now. He's showing it on the screen. He took it right here at this area, right? He took he uses the Fibonacci 50%. I'll show that to you on my chart. So I use the exact same thing that he taught us. He takes a 50% to he went to the all-time high, which is right there at that point. And he probably took half off at 50%, which is a lot. It's a nice run. And then trailing the rest. And so now either he got out at the all-time highs and I haven't been listening to it because I don't need to, but you would want to watch him to understand how this right here works. And there it is. That's a Fibonacci. We use it very loosely. There's a lot of different ways to use it. There's videos on that you need to go watch. Not going to give a Fibonacci lesson here, but that's all that you saw on his screen over there. Getting some action here. Getting some action. It's just trickling down. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't pull back to VWAP before we take back off. But again, it's just not. And that was. Right. Took a little bit of a position here. Took a position here. All right. All right. So that had momentum. If you see what I just did, I'll turn that volume down. When I came over here, we were 5 million to 3 million, so it's more than a 2 million deficit. We still are. We still have the sound going, but it's massive selling now. But I didn't trust it because of the price action before, so I just took a real quick scalp there, and that quick scalp gave us, you know, $100. Could have stayed in, and that was slippage. If y'all saw on the screen. It said 175. Now there is the first play we've had all day to do a good scalp, and we should still be in that scalp. But I just didn't trust it. You sat here with me since 8:30, since the open, so we're 2 minutes from being an hour with no trading, and we've had no momentum other than a slow grind to the all-time high. So there was your first trade of the day. Okay, we went in 5 contracts. We did a 1 candle in and out in less than 30 seconds, right? When I saw $175, I hit flatten. By the time it executed, we only made $100, and that's after commission. This calculates after commission. Now, I don't know why it's not showing it down there, but you can see it right there. $100, $100, Terry, 1 trade. All right, so now we wait. Back to no volume. When I say no volume, it's always trading, but we need to have a deficit. Either we got more advancers than we have decliners, or vice versa. And then that's when you get in. If you heard it, we wait for the sound. You don't have to sit here and eyeball this chart. You have to listen. So you make sure your sound's up. You make sure it says live on your YouTube. If you or you buy a subscription to Bookmap and you actually own this, or you subscribe to it, and that's fine too. And I did do that for a while, but I don't choose not to because this is free. I pay him $5 a month just to subscribe to his channel. And then you just make sure that the timestamps at 10:29 and 46 seconds. I'm directly in time. Every once in a while, I'll hit the refresh on the browser and shut down the chat, and there we go. So that was a little quick impulse, and that's all I'm looking for throughout the day is impulse candles, right? And then I let that be determined by the sounds of the Bookmap, which is basically just a heat map, which is called a heat map. It's heat map that has alarms that manifests itself in sound, and that sound is a trigger, and that lets you know to get on your chart. I use the human indicators now just to make sure that everyone's kind of talking the same. This market is slow. This market's too choppy. We shouldn't be trading today. Just to try to get more confluences from other humans and not just chart reading. So this is still selling. Remember I told you earlier, we'll probably pull back to VWAP. So, and I also told you earlier it was grossly overbought. It was all the way up here at 80s. So I'm going to be getting interested in looking for some longs and staying in a little bit longer. If we bounce down here off of the 30-ish, get down here below 30-ish or close to 30-ish on the RSI. Looks like we did touch it. Here we go, breaking through VWAP on the 1 minute on the 45-second chart. Here we go. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Had a gap down right there. That's unusual. I didn't see that. Is that just on there? Yes. I mean, excuse me, chat. Sorry about that. Okay. There was our sell-off to the VWAP. See if we're going to negate all the gains for the day. Broke out of the, would have been a great trade if I felt confident in it. We did take it at the first impulse. So growth, this was a good timestamp for some training. It wasn't really a flat bottom breakout, but it was certainly an impulse candle buy. Obviously, when I got in there, I didn't need to stop at all. I could still be in this short and be perfectly okay. And so, but I'm okay with taking see green, take green. That's perfectly okay as well. But as I had called, will this go to VWAP? And it did. Look at that. It went to VWAP, and VWAP was the magnet. And so now VWAP is acting as support. And let's see if we get any momentum. We're going to be watching. We're going to be listening first. If we hear anything, then we're going to quickly glance right here at the advancers and decliners. And if we have advancers, then we're going to assume we're getting a bounce off the VWAP, and we're going to take a long position, and we're going to target the middle of this regression channel. This is your linear regression channel. You can look up what that means. I'll put it up right there, linear regression channel. There's your upper deviation and lower deviation. These are free indicators in TradingView, so you can look up what that means. You can simply do an AI search. And that would be my first target, which ironically probably is going to be very close to the 50% of the all-time high. Look how this stuff overlays each other. Look at that right there. Boom. That would be my target. See, I visualize that without even having to pull the Fibonacci, and you will be able to as well if you trade more. That will be your first target. And a lot of times, if I'm going this big of a contracts, it's a 5 contracts, I might not wait that long. I may visually target a profit number. And that's either way you want to do it. That's fine. People say, oh, you leave money on the table. Yeah, and I do. But that's just the way I do it. So there's no set way. You could always follow see profit, take profit methodology. And that's fine. Methodology, that's fine. But you can certainly put your targets in there and just wait. And for me, I don't like to see it go up and then come down and get close to my stop and go back up. I can't wait. That's not my style. And so, but if that's your style, once you get to start trading, that's perfectly okay. Lots of videos out there. Guys put their 4 or 5 targets in there that it's supposed to do based on previous liquidity spots and things like that, pivots, and it hits it. You'll see it hit it, but it also fails a lot. And I see people with thousands of dollars in profit made, and because they're going to stick to their pivot points for their take profit points, they watch those profits go away and go, well, we'll get it next time. I hate that personally. But anyway, we're down below 28 on the RSI. Look at that. I told you, we got below 30. I'll be looking to do some long. So we're grossly oversold. Why is that on there? I don't never have these things on there. Who put that up there? Okay. I don't like that. Let's save that real quick. Don't need those up there. I really don't even like these up there. Not the full things out like that. Well. Stop ESL. Ooh. Look at that. Now that was there with no sounds. That's scary. All right, now we're taking out the opening range here. Put the opening range back up there. We're now breaking down. This is an opening range breakdown. Never thought this would happen today. What a session this is turning out to be. What a session. I have to pull up the WhatsApp and tell my buddy that he's a slacker. What a sell-off. What a sell-off. Who's doing it? How can anybody be? Google's up today. It was doing very bad. Google, Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, all in the green. And who's down? The VIX is down. Tesla's down. Apple, MSTR. It's kind of a mixed bag. It's interesting that we would take out that. So the powers that be just wanted to run it to the all-time high, gang. That's what it looks like, chat. We're very, very oversold now. 25 on the RSI. So I am looking for longs here. I still want to take a long, but boy, being below VWAP, I don't want to do anything until we take out that VWAP. Very nervous here. Very, very nervous. We're going to need to take out that VWAP. Don't like bouncing below that VWAP. It literally is like a cork being held underwater by a big brother. That's what the VWAP is. Lots of explanations on it. I'm not here to explain it to you. Go look it up, the VWAP. I'll highlight it here so you know what it is. Volume weighted average price. Breaking below it is a big deal. It is a big deal, especially on these little short terms. I'm on a 30-second chart. Switch it over to a minute. We're going to keep our ashy candles. Change it down to a 2-minute. Everything was orderly today. I'm so perplexed. I missed that opening little run right there. It's beautiful. Ashy. We'd have stayed in that the whole time if I'd have caught that. But I never FOMO. I never chase. Too many times lost a lot of money chasing. That gap down right there. That was a great. That was the impulse candle that we took a little money out. Wasn't a big trade. Took a little bit out. Stop ES5. Should still be in there. That's what I know the comments are going to say. You should have made a month of salary right there, and that's true. That is absolutely true. Interesting that the modified Lux Algo did not put in a sell signal here. It put a buy signal in on this impulse candle, which it missed that whole. No, there it was. Look at that. I'm sorry. We already talked about that, didn't we? It did put a buy signal in at the open. That was very accurate. very accurate. At the open, buy signal on the modified Lux Algo, and look, it was correct. Oh, it had that basically, that's an ad signal. So it basically called this breakout of this flat top, and it called this breakout of this flat top. So two of those right there, and there. Both there and there.
Top ESL.
And let's see. Was a little V reversal. There's a break of structure. Could have took that long, you all, but I just don't like going long below VWAP, especially where there's no momentum. If I don't hear this indicator going off, and we do have some, got some resistance up here, some sales sitting out there, 108 contracts right there. So we should be getting some buyers here. Let's wait and see if it takes off, though. Let's wait and see. I want to hear it. Now, people will say, you know, Jim, you should have put some contracts right there. But I just, for me, I got to have Bookmap on my side, and it has to be with momentum. So it's already turning back a little bit at the ATR. Pink line is the average true price. And so, yeah, turning back, and it's just trickling around. So this is like Chop City to me. I want to get in and out, and to get in and out, we got to have conviction, meaning you got to have a bunch of people going one way and not enough people going the other way, and we go with the masses.
Top ESL.
We want to go with the masses, right? And there you go. You've already negated three candles. So a break of structure, BOS, break of structure. Look it up. Type it into AI and say, related to day trading, what does break of structure BOS mean? Educate yourself. That is a break of structure, but look, you only had that. You didn't have any, because you have no volume. You didn't have any volume, right? You're 10:41 New York time, so the guys are getting ready for lunch. They're at the water cooler. No volume. That doesn't mean we're not going to get some volume here at 10:30 when London closes, but it wasn't. You can't take it. And look at the VWAP rejection at the VWAP. That's what I told you. When it was down here, I need to see it take out the VWAP. I want that cork to come from being held underwater, surpass the VWAP, come back down and bounce a couple of times on the top of that water. And then I want the fisherman to pull that cork out of the water and take back off. And then we'll take a long and try to get to the middle of the linear regression channel. That would be the trade, the linear regression channel retracement, which ironically, as we said earlier, you pull your Fibonacci scale from the bottom of the day to the high of the day. Look at that. Look at that, chat. About the same, isn't it? Somewhere in there. Maybe even half of the bottom of the channel, the negative deviation. Or I'll just get out when I see a few $100. That works too. Whatever floats your boat. Everybody is a little different on what they need to do and what their mental tolerance is. Looking over here on the Ashies, we just got tops and bottom sales still in the red, histogram still in the red. So nothing's telling us right now that we're going to have any momentum to the top. Still oversold. Got a little bit of that back, but still oversold. 31 on your RSI, relative strength index, 31. Save that chart. Let's go ahead and go up in time frames to the hourly. Right in the middle on your relative strength. Look at that opening pulse candle. Made a lot of money. If you stayed in, you lost money, or you shorted it at the all-time highs. Made a bunch of money. Let's turn off that Lux Algo. You know where we are now. Based on the hourly, still ripping. Big breakout candle. So I would be doubt it would come down and take out all of these highs, these previous sessions on the hourly. So we're just basically very bullish, very, very bullish. This is nothing more than, hey, let's set a new all-time high. Hey, let's take some profits. All right, let's get it back going. Whoa, let's don't take out the opening. And so I'd be very surprised if it negates the opening without some news. And I don't think we have any news here. Nothing was weird. Yeah, nothing was weird on the news. What about actual news? Let me just see actual news here. Let's see here. NVIDIA hits 4 trillion in market capitalization for the first time. Wow, that's big. And U.S. crude inventory is up by 7.1 million barrels. Samsung, new flip phone, some nothing. This is just all normal stuff. Google rolls out Gemini AI to Wear OS. Oh, there's a big one right there. President Trump says the Fed rate is up 3 points. What that is actually saying is when he fires Powell, Powell resigns, or his term's up, which I think is like next year, right? That's not going to be a half a point here and there. The next guy will take 3 points off of that rate. It's going to have to happen. We got to get this debt paid down. We can't just keep paying interest on it. And so that's going to happen. So everybody wants to refinance their house or buy a house. You just need to wait for Powell to be fired, resign, or be replaced when he terms out, and you're going to see 3%. So 7.5 is going to be 4.5 on your refis. That's what you need to wait for sure. But nothing created any of this, so we should be going higher here. Let's just watch our 1 minute candle, try to find us a VWAP. Second attempt at taking out the VWAP. We want to make sure that's taken out. This gap right here on the 1 minute is interesting. I've reset everything, and I took a little pause a second ago to try to figure out what happened there. I don't understand that. The iFeed didn't show it over here on the 1 minute. No gaps. It just had one impulse candle right there. But on the regular charts, look at that gap. And I mean gap, I mean there's no data right there. It's like gap. So like a gap in the print. Was that am I on the wrong futures contract? Let me just try that. No, that's it. That is it. Looks like we're getting a VWAP rejection again, but we are closing above the 5 and 10 period moving average. Got a convergence here, the 21, the VWAP, the 5, and the 10. And so something's going to happen. The channel. Go. Don't know. I don't trust it. I just don't trust taking a short. We're very oversold, below 30 on your RSI. Histogram has been trailing toward positive. A doji on your ASHI candles. And you got the VWAP. So that's the resistance. But we're trending up on your linear regression channel. So I just don't trust it to take a short just yet. Could have jumped in there for a little small one, but you know, it doesn't feel like it's this kind of a plunge. Let's see, we're going to take out the opening. There's the opening taken out. Not going to FOMO here. Not going to FOMO here. Just not going to do it. Volume's already started petering out. The time to do it was when it first started. You had to have been ready right then, and I just didn't feel it. Didn't feel it. It's too oversold for me to feel like it's going to take out that low of day. It's taking out the opening now. Let's see what everybody else is thinking. Now it's time to go to our human indicators. Well, his face doesn't look too good, does it? Oh, and all the numbers are the same, so they must have been waiting for some sort of high of day breakout. That's matted. Rocket Scooter. The numbers are the same, so there's been no trade since pre-market. No trade since pre-market. I don't see Pat's done anything because when this was going, he was showing everybody he was taking money out of his account. Let's listen to Mike.
I jumped the gun way too early. was like, sell, 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 sell. And that's what happened. That's one of my weaknesses. I don't claim to be the best. I make mistakes like everybody else.
Price for ES5.
Down from trading gold last night. Hey, so last night I was good. So I traded once in the funded accounts, or all the prop accounts, made 600 and $12, something like that. I don't know, whatever. Then I traded a little bit more in my account, and then got smacked back and forth a little bit. Then got back. Let's actually look. Let's do my report card. Let's see where all the accounts are.
Feet are going to sleep, chat. I think I'm going to be about done. This is just not going to be the day for me. About 10 more minutes. It's usually be 11 o'clock. And the East Coast time is usually when I quit for my break.
You see, here's the one I've had quite a few trades in. So, spent quite a bit in commission last night and this morning.
Top ES sell. Top ES sell.
Let's see what we got here.
Sell.
This might be a Dune Awakening day for me, or a beach day. Lunch with my niece nephew. Yesterday, pretty good day, 5,000. Today, not so much. $100. Here, let me show you, chat. We're up $100. We basically watched the market rip in front of us, no trades. First little impulse down, nothing could be traded in here. First time we got any impulse down, I just didn't trust it. It was right in the middle of this range. Got in and out for a scalp, saw 175 on the screen, only trying to do 4 or 5 of those a day. Trying to make $500 to $800 a day. And actually hit the flatten the position at 175 on the screen. You can rewind it to see that. And after the slippage and commissions only netted $100. $100. It's okay. Sometimes it goes your way and you see 175 and you get 500. You know, it's rare those ways, but it does happen. I see rare. It probably happens just equally as much. Especially on when it's selling off. Usually when it's selling off, you get more of those slippage to your favor. All right, it's interesting. There is the, technically speaking, if you'd have if you'd have shorted at the open and you were still in it, you're in the green right now. If you didn't have prop house rules, you was on your own money and you had enough in there to withstand it and you just felt it, which you would never do, especially shorting. You know, you only hold stuff if you're going to go long. So historically, the market will go up. Look at this. Might be breaking down through this channel. So far below the VWAP now that I'm scared to do anything. So close to lunch. 8 minutes till the boys are officially at lunch. Well, 8 minutes till 11 o'clock New York time. Got 8 minutes to New York time, people. 1 hour and 28 minutes on the stream. Morning, Tim. I just saw you, buddy. I had the chat covered up, brother. Only took one trade today. It's been a dud. I basically have missed it. We had a heck of a run, if you see the chart, and then I would say sort of an orderly sell-off, but in several impulse downs. Look at this gap on the chart. I can't figure out what that is. It's not showing on the Ashies, but on the regular chart, it just boom. And then when it did that, that's when I took a little scalp and had massive slippage. Half of my profit was in slippage. And then it's just been sort of an orderly deal. Not a lot of volume over on the heat map, but not a lot of volume. You know, we hadn't really had enough to do anything. Some's coming in now, but it's the VWAP had a double top, drop, but none of it's really been with any conviction for me to try to pull the trigger. Trading the 50,000 account. Got to figure out why our chat didn't ding. Maybe it did, and I didn't hear it. But I'm going to be done. We got the house guests here. I'm going to let it go for a few more minutes. RSI is down to really nothing, to be honest with you. Coming off the bottom, got down into 25s there earlier. Right in here, 28 something right in there. Meeting go good, I guess. The boys. Okay. All right, Kiki.
Top ESL.
Oh, top chat and live chat. That's the problem. I keep forgetting. There we go. Got to turn it on live chat, Jim. There we go. I don't know how to make you a moderator. I got to figure that out.
Absorption and Q sellers.
Boom. There you are, Tim. Managing moderator. Tim has been promoted from 0 pay to 0 pay. Bada bing, bada boom.
Top and Q sell.
Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, that's pegging the old microphone over there. I got to get that thing greased up. I see a Q-tip and some machine oil in the future of that thing. I got to figure out how to get the screws and all apart. I got all this popped in. You see how I did on that? I took a piece of I took a YouTube video, and the guy said you take dental floss or fishing line. I took dental floss, and I was able to get on the other side of it. When I pulled it, it popped right in. Yeah, it's cool. Breaking news: meme maker Douglas Mackey's conviction unanimously something another. So it looks like dude's conviction was overturned. Made a meme telling people to go vote a day late. Oh, here we go. We got something going on. More selling. Wow. More selling. I'm just scared to take it.
Sweep ES5. Sweep ES5. Absorption ES sellers.
Scared to take it.
ES sellers.
Scared to take it. They're selling and RSI is coming off the bottom. We are below VWAP. Let's just wait a second. Don't feel it. See, it went right away that we would be stuck in that short. No follow through. Heading up against the 11 o'clock hour with the 2 minutes. So violating a lot of rules. Violating a lot of rules, Tim Evans. And it went away. So we're getting these little small impulses, chat. That's what I'm sitting here to kind of show you guys. People might say, if you'd have stayed in right here, you know, you'd have made a lot more money, Jim. Yeah, but if I'd have taken that trade on the exact same volume profile here, I'd already be stomped out. And so, and that's just a feel thing. So there's nothing wrong with the Don Sinclair's method of see profit, take profit, and just keep doing that throughout the day. And there's nothing wrong if you're going to trade futures to sit here and trade. I'm in this breaking at 11 o'clock Eastern time from the old school days of trading individual stocks and things. So futures trades probably doesn't really drop that much or as much as other things do. and during the lunch hours, but that's just how I like to do it. In fact, I like to not even trade the rest of the day in these prop accounts, but the power hour is a good time to trade. I like to trade live accounts then. Still really oversold, so I'm biased because the RSI is telling me to be biased. But nonetheless, we keep trickling down here. Just a slow death here. Slow death. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Slow death, down, down, down. See what the market's doing overall. Mag 7, NVIDIA's leading the way. That's because they hit that 4 trillion in market cap today. Google had to have a bounce. Charts have been looking horrible on Google. Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, MSTR, Jamie Dimon, all in the green today, but just marginally. Now, still oversold. Still oversold. Will we get us a bounce? Do we take a trade and put our $100 gain today at jeopardy? What do we do here? That's the question, right? See, even that, even though we got the sound there, it was completely negated. Look at this, liquidities around us. We're just basically even. Look at this. It's just really light. Everything's light. So 11 o'clock, 49 seconds into the hour. I think we're going to call it. Peace.